Hello, Serge here from the Backyard Driving Range. And we have a question here that came in again for the webinar we did. And this one comes from Marilyn Wheat. And Marilyn said, just wanted to tell you thanks for all your tips. They have really helped me a lot. If only I could remember all of them. I know that gets tough because we do a lot of these, don't we? And Marilyn says, the most important for me is the loading right side. Sometimes I just don't do it enough. The other is coming up the tree straight and bend of the elbows. Darn, sometimes I don't come up far enough. Okay, let's talk about that. So Marilyn's talking about the forward upswing here in terms of her swing issue, and the question a bit is about loading preloaded heavy right. So let's start and cover preloaded heavy right first, because that's a critical part of the setup in terms of being set up properly with your weight a little bit behind the ball so you can stay behind the ball, and then in your forward upswing you're pushing off, you're pushing upward. And so to be able to push off and upward, you have to be on it. Now again, most of the world has told you to stay dead centered in here and then in between your feet and make a big turn and move your weight over. Well, if you're into moving your weight over, the question becomes, where do you stop? Do I move to here and stop there, go a little bit far, and then I can fall? So I came up with the idea from baseball pitchers who get here and quarterbacks and tennis players serve. They get on it and then they just push forward. They don't start forward and then push to the other way. So I figure if we start there, all we have to do is we're already there, just lift your arms and then boom, you have only one really big way to go. So we're lifting our shoulders, allowing a little bit turn, but we're already there. So preloaded heavy right is just basically standing here and just moving your weight one tweak this way. That's all. It's just here. And the best way to check that is if you get here, you should be able to pick your foot up a little bit. If you can't pick up either foot, you know you're locked in the middle. I've had many players who stand up and get preloaded heavy right by kind of just, they get in their foot straight, cock their knee in, and they're standing back here and they say they're preloaded heavy right. And I just say close your eyes and feel which way can you move your head one inch or more the other way and see which foot you can pick up. And many times they stand here and they say, until they can barely move, they can go like this. When they're here, they go like that and lift up and say, holy cow, I'm really not. My head's back there, my shoulders are back there, but the issue is this is all up there. Your forward body is, your lower body's way forward. We want to be straight, just go like this and then get that little tilt. So that's preloaded heavy right. Boom, right here. Just and sit on the right side. Almost just like if you're standing, you just kind of cock your hips a little bit and sit on the right leg. And then once you grip the club, you got the shoulder tilt. Now, as far as the problem with swinging up in a forward swing, I think it's the main issue is once we decide where we want to swing to, or a finish, which is, as we know from here, I want you to swing up and finish with your bottom hand, which for right hand is the right hand outside of the left ear where they almost touch. When your hands are together on the club, both hands are diametrically opposed to each other. So they're always doing exactly the opposite of the other. And that causes us to be like a train stuck on a track. As long as the wheels stay on the track, the train that sits on top of the track just follows the track. Well, when your hands are together and are diametrically opposed, they create your track that you're going to run on. And all it takes is for you to decide where you want to finish. If I finish over here, my track's going to come up pretty sharply and curve to the left. If I finish over there like this, it's going to come up and curve sharply to the right. But in the end, if I just swing up like this, it's going to swing up and hands are going to become right close to the ear, the bottom hand close to the ear, palms perpendicular to the ground. So we have that very good vertical upswing, all right, that we want, and then we recoil and relax. The big issue is once you swing up, the elbows will fold wherever they need to fold for those hands to come there. Now again, if I want my hands coming in low, like below my shoulder, but my ear near the shoulder, you're going to see what? Look at where my elbows are folding. I don't have to think about it, it's just going to happen. If I swing up too high, they might not even hardly fold. The key is they have to fold. You just come up where your hand's coming right over the top of your ear. And when you do that, boom, and recoil and relax, you'll have dynamic balance. So again, it's just focus on the finish. Feel the finish, focus on the finish. And once you lock in that place, and that place is just like standing right here. There's your backswing, and there's your forward swing. And I'm just going to come right over here like I'm kind of like flipping a sack or throwing a sack over my shoulder. So focus on the finish and feel the finish, and you'll have a good dynamically balanced finish, and you won't have to worry about where your elbows fall. They'll do it every time when you decide that's where you want to end up. All right, well, that's it for the search for today on focusing on the finish and having that good dynamically balanced finish to help us hit the ball much more solid, straight, and longer and shoot those lower scores.